Oh, good. Feel free to. I can just be a little off frame. I don't mind.
Here, you can scooch in now. Okay. All right. Are we live?
You're good.
All right. Cool. Awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm here with the development team for Cog Key. You guys want to go one by one to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Luna. I did AI.
Hi, I'm Alexa. I was the technical artist of the project.
Hi, I'm Liam. I have been production and level design.
Could one of you guys, thank you for introducing yourselves, by the way, go ahead and explain to me what this game is in just brief terms?
So, Cog Key is a 2D puzzle platformer set in the dystopian steampunk world where you play as Judith, a human with an augmented right arm, and their goal is to try and take back the land that was overcome by automatons. At one point, there were automatons built by humans that they were able to coexist peacefully with, and at some point, the automatons saw humans as obsolete. That whole trope of, what's more efficient, humans aren't. And now the goal is to reclaim land that was taken from humanity.
Okay.
And the goal is to climb up the clock tower, which holds a overlord hive mind, I guess you could call it, which has control over the other automatons. So think of like a waterfall effect. You take care of the top, the bottom follows.
Okay. It's like a top. Okay, got it.
Did we lose connection already?
No, it's...
Oh, it is. Okay. I just can't see.
So where did the inspiration for this game come from?
Still me.
Okay.
So I work at a hardware store, and I wish I was joking, but I was trying to find inspiration, and I was struggling, and I came up in conversation with the customer, and she looked me dead in the eyes and said, and I'm a key cutter at that store. She's like, I think you're going to make a game about keys. And I said, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And so, I just ran with it and brought along the team, and we all just took my idea and made it into something a lot better.
I see. Well, that's a pretty good inspiration if I ever heard one. Who did the logo, by the way? That's really, really clever.
Yeah, so we have 3 artists.
Okay.
And our 3D modelist, her main one, created the logo.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how large is the dev team that you guys are working with?
So we have 4 core team members, as well as technically 4 artists. One of them is on hiatus right now.
Okay.
And also since we're part of the grad capstone here at RIT, we also have 3 advisors, as well as like 1 overseer for the grad project.
So did this start as a capstone project
Yeah.
then?
Yep.
Okay.
So all of us have research tied to this project as well. So if you're playing here at Edge, we have our document that all ties into our research, so we can write our research papers after the project.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Give us some research, please.
So do you want to, do you guys have a demo prepared?
Yeah.
All right.
I am the demo. Alright, so we have a total of 4 levels, or 4 past the onboarding, and I could do one of 2 things if we have a number of minutes to work with.
We should skip
That's
the
really
level.
cool.
Skip this level.
Skip this level? Okay.
Yeah, because that's onboarding level.
Yeah.
We have an onboarding for the sake of if you're relatively unfamiliar with platforming, as well as introduces you to the base mechanics.
Yeah.
But now this second level gets into the more complex level of puzzles that we have available.
And since it would take longer to actually do, it was decided upon to have a skip feature so we could just quickly test and adjust on scene. So
Okay.
Yeah. So the core concept is you have these 4 different keys. One of them locks everything in place, one of them speeds things up, and one of them reverses them.
Okay.
So for all of these puzzle mechanics, and as well as enemies, if you were to insert different keys, they all have different reactions. So a lot of these puzzles, for example, they use boxes and buttons and different enemy placements to solve and open doors to traverse through the level. So we have a conveyor, and Liam just used the speed key, and now Judith can jump across a farther distance because the conveyor is going faster. You have this fan here, where you could also put a speed key in here, or you could try to navigate it yourself without the speed key and be more strategic with the side areas.
Okay.
With the speed key, though, you'd be able to go higher with the fan. So all these sort of things, interactions with the keys. So the fan goes faster, you jump higher with the fan.
Yeah.
So it's a very interactive, puzzle-based world where you're also platforming too. So the 2 core components.
So what engine are you guys currently using for developing this?
We're in Unity engine.
yeah, we are.
we had to do a minor upgrade in terms of our graphical capabilities, but Unity was a good choice for us because it was 2D, and it was before all the Unity drama, but in general, it's what we're familiar with in terms of our curriculum. So it was just the correct solution for us.
Yeah. So
he's the wrong key.
What other games did you guys draw inspiration from in terms of the overall concept for this?
I feel that there was a lot of inspiration that came from, what's the word, Celeste.
Celeste.
It's Celeste and Mario both have that same sort of feel that we spent a lot of time trying to hone in on, which is the comfort and response mechanic of the movement itself. So people have often said in their capstone, some of the professors said, platformers are some of the hardest to make because you have to make it fun with very little. And we spent a lot of our time making sure that Celeste and their movement mechanics gave us at least a good input of, what is fun and is not, because they all have a different movement speed up, slow down, up and down. So I guess inspiration came from a number of sources, but Celeste was one of the main ones.
Yeah, and some of the movement reminds me quite a bit of Mega Man.
Yeah. Yep, so that's one of the
the weight and stuff like
inspirations,
that.
especially for teaching players the mechanics too. So we try to break it up into different sections where one section you learn one key, one section you learn another key, one section you learn wall jumping, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay.
So pulling from Mega Man for that.
Something that was discussed at length with the CAT committee was trying to demonstrate how keys worked without telling you directly how they were doing what they do. So the goal has been, that key was in there, and you think, well, I can't quite jump there, but you try, and then all of a sudden you're sucked up, and you grab the key, and now it blows the right direction. So
That's really cool. Yeah.
and then the text pops up just in case.
And then here's obvious a use of the reverse key. You can't traverse any further until you use that reverse key for the first time, and you realize, oh, it went backwards.
I
So
see.
teaching them in a very small way, and then Liam's focus with the level design is taking this core onboarding section and building it up further. So for example, you have this enemy here, which is more danger, and you could either use its walk cycle to have it walk into the area, or you could use your reverse key and not the speed key and have it reverse back into that room instead.
I got a little overzealous if you couldn't tell.
Yeah, Liam's focus here also was to have the puzzle be able to be solved in multiple ways. That's one of the things I think with his research. As you can see, he used reverse key, pushes the enemy back, and now the door at the upper area was opened. Again, there's multiple ways to do it, but this is the most intended way from the designer. And of course, we have all these little bugs and stuff, which come with projects and everything, but...
So each key is tied to his individual button prompt then? And does the main character have any other way of dealing with enemies beyond the keys, or is that entirely okay?
In the very beginning, it was discussed if we wanted to have combat, and there was a problem of complicating a game with too many core features. And combat was a thought, and then a lot of people said, if you want to focus on one thing and make it good, you don't have a lot of time to really do all those things. So we only have a semester to develop and a semester to design. So we removed that from a from a feature, I'll say.
Yeah, the main thing we really want to focus on was this puzzling aspect with these keys.
Yeah.
So we have this box, for example, and the reverse key and the speed key kind of do what you normally expect them to do. However, the lock key instantly makes it fall down.
Yeah.
So right now they kind of stay in the air, but teaching the players this new mechanic with keys and having them be able to practice puzzles in a safe environment is kind of our main thing we wanted to focus on too. And combat kind of got in the way of that. And also logistically, these are some really hard, crazy mechanical spiders and bugs and stuff, and you're really not going to be able to have too much impact as an individual on your own.
Yeah.
And you don't really have crazy machinery, so.
Who is the UX designer for this game?
So that's me. I am the technical artist. So I worked with 3 artists designing all the assets and the models. So it's a game mixture of 2D and 3D. So there are players in the 3D space with a 2D shader.
Yeah.
But everything else is in a 2D sense.
Yeah, I just wanted to compliment the way the keys rotate inwards and outwards to indicate whether or not they'd been activated or not. I thought that was really clever.
If you can't tell, I'm not really good at platforming. Designed this game.
Yeah, playing with the user interface was really interesting because we originally had it in the bottom right corner, and we realized people don't look there. So then we moved to the top left, then we realized people look there more often, but not it doesn't really make sense
Yeah.
for the keys. How do we show it with different symbols? That makes no sense. The inserting it directly with the spin was like the kind of the realization, like, wow, this is kind of cool.
It looks really tactile. How many levels do you guys currently have implemented?
So I believe we're on level 3 of 5, and it's okay if we don't run out of time, but there are currently about 5-ish levels.
And do you plan on continuing to work on it after Capstone?
I mean, some of us have gotten jobs already,
Right.
so it'd be nice if there was a way to sustainably do it, but I'm not sure that's feasible. Definitely if there was a method of completing this, I would love to keep building it, but...
Oh.
We don't know that. That's a resultant bug that we've had today.
Okay.
So, yeah. All of us need to navigate the work-life balance it would take to continue on this project, because some of us are interested, some of us have jobs lined up and might not have the time for it.
Especially as a graduate project, you guys are out. Yeah.
I will say our goal is about like a 5 to 10 minute vertical slice where puzzles are very thought out, make people think, and they're not as buggy. I mean, we're almost there. We obviously add a lot of new things. We have things that need to be still finished up, as well as some assets that need to be implemented better. But we wanted to get for Edge like this core concept and have some puzzles to showcase to what we're going to hopefully achieve by Imagine RIT.
So yeah, given that there's only 4 weeks left in the semester, I imagine you guys are in kind of a bit of a crunch here. What are your guys' goals for, the last few weeks of the semester, just getting things wrapped up?
Well, that's a lot to...
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Because I have this. On AI, I've been working on my system to get them navigating, but we wanted more than one enemy type, and our second enemy type kind of defies some of what I built up. So while I have a lot of the framework for it, my focus is to make sure it actually works well within the level. We're making a second enemy type that essentially, instead of jumping at you, will just navigate all walls and try to drop on top.
Okay, so you have this first enemy type, and then the second one that you described. Then.
The second one is the plan, and with that comes some modifications to the system for both enemy types. And it's additive, so it's not as difficult as it sounds right now, but yeah.
As for what I'm going to be working on, we have this puzzle final boss. So instead of you fighting a final boss, you're actually solving puzzles to turn off the final boss.
That's really
cool.
So
right now we have planned 2 really complex puzzle levels for the boss, where once you reach the top of the puzzle, you activate a switch and it like damages the boss. And the second one turns off the boss. And this boss is this giant AI spider.
Yeah.
And this spider's gonna be like huge traversal right in the back, like on grates, trying to like puncture you through grates, trying to hit you while you're solving this puzzle. So that I wouldn't call it exactly AI, because it's mainly just animation and timing things. But that's the thing that I'll be working on until Imagine. So hopefully, if you play for Imagine, we'll have a little spider boss guy in the background.
I'll definitely be there.
Yeah, it was originally going to be something that we had as a big AI boss, but we realized quite quickly that scope was going to hit us, and also it would work better to fit our design goals to have it be the kind of animated puzzle encounter, especially as we avoid combat.
And here we go. We got a 2-minute warning, so now...
Yeah. So I guess, given that we have to wrap up pretty soon, are there any final comments that you guys wanted to say to the audience, or just let us know about the game?
Yeah, I mean...
current progress?
It's been a fun development cycle. With how much time there is to make a game, I definitely feel like this is only a sample of what development really is. And there's a lot more to it, and I really feel like we've only scratched the surface. This would be something that I would see being brought to a board of directors, like, yeah, we want to make this a full-scale game, and then we'd be given the yes or no. So with all the work we put into it, it's come a long way. But it's just mind-boggling how much more there is to this whole industry. So,
piece of advice from me: don't look to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
But it is fun when you do it.
If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
Because my entire AI system is based on heuristics instead of using traditional pathfinding, and that's part of my research. But it also presents a lot of issues that you wouldn't typically deal with if you're dealing with perfect information or pathfinding in general. So, yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys for coming along. This was Cog and Key, and really appreciate seeing you guys, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you around.